Let's pay homage to the Buddha, fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, yesterday, when the Princess Subala heard Buddha's answer, the Prince Subala said, "It is wonderful, it is marvelous. One has indeed good reason to give alms, good reason to do meritorious deeds." So moreover, in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha says, "Monks, in giving a meal, a giver gives 5 things to a receiver." So what 5? The alms, the one who gives a meal, he gives life, beauty, ease, strength and wisdom. So by giving these, he becomes a partaker in each quality, in heaven, in among men. So if we give a meal, we give life, we give beauty, we give ease, strength and wisdom, that when this karma gives its result, so we will be a partaker in each quality when we become celestial beings, when we become among humans. So our body is composed of 4 types of materiality. Their karma produced materiality, consciousness produced materiality, nutriment produced materiality, and temperature produced materiality. So karma produced materiality. It is related to past karma. Consciousness produced materiality. There will be 2 types of consciousness produced materiality. Unwholesome consciousness produced materiality. Wholesome consciousness produced materiality. What about the karma produced materiality? Only when we can discern our past karma, at the time we will understand more better. So what about the unwholesome and wholesome consciousness produced materiality? Superficial way we all can understand. For example, when we are happy, at that time our bodily feeling, our bodily sensation, our bodily conditions is one. When we are unhappy at that time, our body feeling and body conditions is another. So wholesome consciousness produce materiality, make we feel comfort. But for unwholesome consciousness materiality, it makes you feel uncomfort. This is also can be practiced, can be discerned directly with your insight, if you develop concentration. When we teach materiality meditation, in Pali we call Rupa meditation. At that time, We taught meditators to practice consciousness-produced materiality, karma-produced materiality. As I have introduced before all of you, how many types of materiality in our eye door? So I will tell again to make all of you understand more. So in our eye door, there are eye sensitivity, body sensitivity, and sex-determined materiality. So these three types of materiality that exist in eye door, they are karma-produced materiality. We see visible objects because of having eye sensitivity in your eye door. If we touch our eye, we feel the touch feeling. It is because of having body sensitivity in our eye door. According to the Buddha's Abhidharma, sex-determined materiality such as female and male, sex-determined materiality present in whole body. So for men, for male, there is only male sex-determined materiality, but for female only there is female sex-determined materiality. We all can understand man and woman, male and female, the way they speak, the way they walk, the way they act, the way they respond. All the way it is very different. What is the reason why it is different? Because of this sex-determined materiality. So this is also what you all can listen practically when you develop concentration, when you start practice Four Elements meditation too. Another type of materiality, nutrient-produced materiality. Another type, temperature-produced materiality. So, to be able to understand consciousness-produced materiality, so after developing concentration, we instruct meditators to wiggle the finger. So at that time, while he or she is moving out of his finger, if they look at the Bhavinga means mind door. Mind door means where the mentality arises. Mentality arises based on heart-based materiality. So, after breaking the body into small particles, at that time, after developing concentration, if meditators look at the mind door, while he or she is moving her finger or his finger, so that time, if they look at the mind door, Bhavinga, so we let them check. Desire to move the finger and the movement of the finger which arise first. That time meditators can understand the desire to move the finger arises first in their mind or Bhavinga. Because of that desire to move their finger from their mind or Bhavinga produces a lot of consciousness produced particles. They spread the whole body. You can see clearly. Now before coming here, we all eat our lunch. So meditators, those who could practice ultimate materiality, we instruct them while they are eating their food. they take the food and put into their mouth. At that time, we instruct them to close their eyes and just see when they are chewing the food. They don't see the food, they just see small particles which is arising and perishing in their mouth. So, the food, it is nothing, just the small particles only. You are chewing, but you see just the small particles, nothing. When you swallow, also you see just the small particles go downwards direction. Do you want to see? Okay? So to be able to practice nutriment produce materiality, in this way you have to try. And to be able to know and see this. However, we need concentration to know and see this. So temperature produce materiality, how to listen? I will tell you only when you can practice. So past karma condition, karma produce materiality, consciousness and temperature produce their respective materiality. But the food we eat conditions or produces, nutriment produce materiality. Food is one of the four causes which sustain our life. Without food, we cannot live. That's why giving alms is in truth giving life. Because of this reason, if we are the one who gives alms, in return, one day in the future, we will be a partaker of that thing. So another thing, if we give alms, we give duty. The food is a requisite that is essential for our survival and well-being. So our human health and human beauty depend on nourishment from food. If we go without food for only a few days, we begin to feel weak, our strength wanes and we quickly run out of energy to do even simple everyday activities. If we go without food for only a few days, we discover that our contemplative response diminishes and our rational ability is reduced. This is due to the active relationship between mind and body. So when we are hungry, we suffer. When we are hungry for long, we suffer a lot. We all know that this is a fact of life. On the other hand, once we have eaten, we feel at ease and experience an immediate sense of well-being. With the return of our strength and energy, we are able to once again devote our lives to more than just our mere survival. That's why giving means gives life, beauty, peace, strength and wisdom, said by the Buddha. Moreover, the Buddha says, Bhikkhus, there are these 5 timely gifts. What 5? One gives to the guest, to the traveler, to the sick. When food is hard to get, and the first fruits of the field is set before the virtuous. So timely gives means when there are guests, if we give to the guest, when there is traveler, if we give to the traveler, when there is sick person, if we give to the sick, when it is a time food is hard to get, so we give the food the time when it is hard to get. And the first fruits of the field, so someone plant fruit trees in their land. So when the first fruits has been born at the time, if they give to the virtuous, so these actions are called timely gift. So Maybe you all know already. Last Friday, I think, very strong cyclone hit to the Burma. Now this, after lunch, I saw in the internet the US ambassador, maybe embassy saying 100,000 people have been died. A lot. 41,000 people are missing. Yangon, the largest city, the city of Burma, become like a wasteland. Now it is the time food is hard to get there. So now international aid such as Thailand, US and many other countries, they are offering food, shelter, water and many other things to the people, those who are now in suffering. It is the time they give food which is hard to get. It can be called timely gift. So why should we give timely gifts? If we need a better life, we need to give the 5 timely gifts. To understand it, let us reflect on our own life experience. We need food to eat, clothes to wear, places to live, and medicine to prevent and cure diseases. We should ask ourselves, can we get them whenever we need them? There may be many who go without. It is because of not having given the 5 timely gifts. That's why the Lord Buddha further instructed, Bhikkhus, do not fear meritorious deeds such as offering, keeping sila, practicing meditation. So people are fear of doing meritorious deeds. It is because of not understanding the benefit of doing meritorious deeds. So Buddha said, do not fear meritorious deeds. This is an expression denoting happiness, what is desirable, wished for, dear and agreeable. That is meritorious deeds. The Buddha said, because I know full well, Bhikkhus, that for a long time I experienced desirable, wished for, dear and agreeable results from performing meritorious deeds. I say, do not fear meritorious deeds. How can we experience desirable results? By accumulating wholesome deeds. To consider that question, we need to investigate the real meaning of meritorious giving. Let us begin by seeking guidance from the Sutta name, Giving What. The title of the talk we are giving is Giving What. Now it will start. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Guru Anatha Pindika's monastery. Then when the night had advanced, a sudden devata of stunning beauty, illuminating the entire monastery, approaches the Blessed One. Having approached, the Deva paid homage to the Blessed One, stood to one side, and said to the Buddha. So he asked questions to the Buddha. The first one is, Buddha, giving what does one give strength? Second question, Buddha, giving what does one give beauty? Giving what does one give ease? The fourth question, giving what does one give sight? The fifth question is, Buddha, who is the giver of all? So Buddha explained to the Deva. That the Blessed One, the Buddha said, giving food, one gives strength. This is the answer to the first question. So the answer to the second question, Buddha said, giving clothes, one does beauty, one gives beauty. So the third question is, giving what does one give ease? The Buddha answered, giving a vehicle, one gives ease. The fourth question is, giving what does one give sight? And the Buddha answered, giving a land, one gives sight. The fifth question and the last question, who is the giver of all? Buddha answered, the one who gives the residence is the giver of all. But finally, Buddha concludes, and Buddha added one statement, but the one who teaches the Dhamma is the giver of the deathless Nibbana. So the first question made by the Deva to the Buddha, giving what does one give strength? At that time Buddha answered, giving food one gives strength. So we need more explanations. For that reason, I will quote the commentary explanation. It doesn't appear in Pali text, it appears only in the commentary. The commentary explains, what if a strong person were to go without food for 2 or 3 days, even he would find it difficult to stand. On the other hand, if a weak person is nourished with meat, he soon recovers his strength. Therefore the Buddha said, giving food one gives strength. The second question, the explanation appears for the second question. Second, the explanation appears in the commentary, which gives the answer to the second question. It is, giving clothes one gives beauty. Everybody wants to be beautiful. No? Everybody wants to be beautiful. So what do people do for that reason? Nowadays, in developed countries around the world, men or women both undergo plastic surgery on a regular basis. They are all hoping that they will wake up after their surgeries with new and beautiful faces. They believe that cosmetic surgery will make them happy. In fact, what they really end up with is no happiness, but rather enforcing trouble and worry. Even the most skilled plastic surgeon cannot put a stop to the natural aging process. The trouble that they encounter after doing surgery. So in order to maintain their skin after their surgery, they become dependent on expensive lotions and creams. Even so, sooner or later, their facelifts need redoing, and it is back to the plastic surgeon's office over and over again. Facelifts, you understand? Some Western, very old lady, they do facelifts here. They want to do again their aging process. So they have to go again and again to the plastic surgeon's office to do again and again their facelifts. They become slaves to their own foolish vanity. In the end, it is futile and only leads to dukkha. It is useless and only leads to dukkha. So for the Buddha cautions that hatred is for ugliness, non-hatred is for beauty, and that those who want beauty should never get angry. So if we have hatred temperament, the one who is angry often, so it will give its result. It is ugliness. So the one who has non-hatred temperament, who has a lot of compassion, a lot of metta towards beings. So it's a gift, it's a that, it is beauty. So if we want beauty, we should never get angry. So do not ever get angry with anybody. You don't need to go plastic surgeon. So, what actions mark anger? We all need to know. Harsh speech, angry looks, arguing, inappropriate criticism, dissatisfaction, complaining, finger pointing, and ill will are some of the marks of anger. We don't like harsh speech. If we don't like, we should not do harsh speech. If we don't like angry looks, we don't like arguing, we don't like criticism, inappropriate criticism, dissatisfaction, complaining, finger pointing, if we don't like it. Also, we should not do. If we ourselves want to be beautiful, we must avoid giving in to anger and to the causes of anger. Is it true Korean people, they angry with one another, but very quickly after that they speak one another? True? Good. It doesn't last long for a long time, also good too. So, these are bodily wrong actions and verbal wrong actions. In order to avoid doing these wrong actions, we must be skillful reading the habits of our own mind. So this is the words of the Buddha. Buddha said, because if you are not skillful in reading the habits of others' mind, be skillful in reading the habit of one's own mind. So to be able to avoid doing bodily wrong action and verbal wrong actions, we need to be skillful reading the habit of our own mind. Our human body system is like computer. There are two parts in computer, hardware and software. So hardware alone can't do anything. Software instructs hardware what to do. True? In the same way, this is hardware. So mind is software. Mind, software instruct hardware what to do. If we are not skillful reading the habits of our software mind, so our bodily and verbal actions, which is hardware, so it will do not properly. So bodily and verbal actions comes after mental instructions. Because of this reason, the Buddha instructed us, be skillful in reading the habit of our own mind. Only when we are skillful reading the habit of our own mind, at that time we can do more wholesome actions in our daily life. If we are skillful reading the habits of our own mind, we know more and more about our mind condition, our state of mind, that we come to know more and more our weakness and strong points. Only when we know our weakness at that time, we will correct it and we will improve too. If we know more and more about our strong points, so we will emphasize to do it and we can choose the way we can do. So because of knowing our mind, we become more and more mature. Good education is expected the whole world. Whatever education we are getting in this world, the most and the best education is training our mind to be skillful reading the habits of our own mind. Without being skillful reading the habits of our own mind, we cannot lead our life to be a good life. Real improvement cannot be seen in the external world. Real improvement, real progress can be developed through training of the mind. It is being skillful in reading the habits of one's own mind. Because of this reason, you need to train, you need to be heedful to do or to be skillful in reading our own mind. Because of having no skillful reading the habits of our own mind, so an awesome deed has been committed by one of the ladies. It appeared in the Jataka story. In that story, we meet a woman who lacked skill in reading the habits of our own mind. One day, while irritated, she stared upon and declared enlightened one, Pa-Auk Buddha, with an angry look. So, angry look, it is a mark of anger. So he stared upon Pa-Auk Buddha with an angry look and spoke to him using harsh speech. This action made her become extremely ugly. So once upon a time, Korea is poor. Once upon a time is another here. Once upon a time, in this story, a king of Benares, Pa-Auk by name, ruled his country righteously. At that time, a certain poor man who lived by the eastern gate of Benares had a daughter named Panchapapa. It is said that in a former existence, as a poor man's daughter, this woman was kneading clay and plastering a wall. So at that time, Pa-Auk Buddha thought, where am I to get clay to make this mountain cave neat and trim? You know Pa-Auk Buddha? Pa-Auk Buddha is self-enlightened man or not? Yes. Pa-Auk Buddha and declared Buddha is self-enlightened Buddha. Sometime when there is no omniscient Buddha is our Buddha, didn't appear or doesn't appear in the world. Sometimes Pa-Auk Buddha appear in the world. Pa-Auk Buddha also self-enlightened Buddha, but can he teach people to attain Nirvana or not? Cannot know. Why and what is the difference between the enlightenment of Pa-Auk Buddha and the omniscient Buddha? So in the commentary it is explained the difference between Pa-Auk Buddha self-enlightenment and omniscient Buddha self-enlightenment. So Pa-Auk Buddha also self-enlightened Buddha, but in the commentary he gave an example. There is a man who is mute, who can't speak. He dreams. After that morning time, he can't say anything what he dreams because he is mute. He dreams. He knows what he saw in his dream, but he is mute that he can't express anything. So Pa-Auk Buddha is like that person. He penetrates, he knows and sees the Dharma as they really are, but he can't explain his knowing and seeing of the Dharma into words. Yesterday I explained all of you. There are 28 types of materiality and one consciousness and 52 types of associated consciousness, associated mental factors. So, Pacceka Buddha can't explain this way. This is earth element, this is water element, this is fire element. In this way, Pacceka Buddha cannot explain. This is materiality. For the mentality, this is consciousness, this is contact, this is feeling, and this is one-pointedness. In this way, Pacceka Buddha can't explain. As for all of us, only when we hear the explanation into words, so at that time we understand, we can follow. But Pacceka Buddha can't do this, that even Pacceka Buddha here in the world, he can't make others attain as he attained. He can't make other people liberate as he liberated. He can't make other people enlighten as he enlightened. But for our Buddha, omniscient Buddha, now we see Pali texts. So this is the teaching of the Buddha. We see 3 baskets. Because of this explanation, so for 45 years he taught the Dharma, so these all now, they collect all into 3 baskets. Because of this teaching, we can follow and practice to enlighten. So, the ability of the omniscient Buddha, he can explain into words all he knows and sees with his insight. Because of this reason, he can make people enlighten as he enlightened. He can make people realize Nibbana as he realized. So the way leading to Nibbana can be taught by whom? Who? Buddha, omniscient Buddha. So the way of practicing, it is explained in the commentary. The way of practicing, there are 2 ways of practicing. First step, it is following the words of the Buddha. For example, now you all mostly practicing Anapana meditation. So Buddha instructs how to practice. So following Buddha's teaching, we all practice. This is the way of practice. First, based on faith, on Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, we follow his teaching. Because of following his words, later we experience direct knowledge. Buddha said by doing so, one day when you develop concentration, you can develop your concentration and you can focus your nimitta, you can enter jhana. It is called direct knowledge. So in Pali, it is said, following the teaching of the Buddha is anupmana. Anupmana. Following the teaching of the Buddha is anupmana. When we directly understand at that time, direct knowledge appears. It is pacceka jnana. So without following the words of the Buddha, can we attain direct knowledge? Okay? Now you understand. Okay? You follow the teaching of the Buddha and you see the light. So at that time, the second knowledge appears, direct knowledge. That's why after Buddha's 6th enlightenment, he recited stanza, I have opened the door to deathless Nibbana. Please release faith on Buddha and Dharma. So, Buddha himself taught to those who have faith on Buddha and Dharma and Sangha. faith on Buddha, Dharma and Sangha arise, it is because of our past wholesome parami. So because of this reason, without faith, so we cannot follow the words of the Buddha. If we can't follow the words of the Buddha, direct knowledge cannot be arise. Right? Another thing we all need to consider very carefully. Why can I teach the Dhamma? Because of following the Buddha only. Is it possible for me to teach my own the way leading to Nibbana? Impossible. Even the Pa-Auk Buddha can't do it. Right? This is very important thing. Nowadays, many meditation masters, without following the words of the Buddha, they are teaching meditation method. Very seriously, what they instructed. If you want to penetrate the Dhamma, just look at your body, you will see the Dhamma. Possible? Impossible. Buddha didn't teach in this way. Buddha instructs us to practice step by step. So without following the teaching of the Buddha, then the teaching we heard from someone, if it is not in accordance with the teaching of the Buddha, it will not be the way leading to Nibbana, sure. It is not the ability of us. If we do our own method, we are doing something even what the Pa-Auk can't do. Right? Because of this reason, we must be very careful. Otherwise, we cannot practice the way leading to Nibbana. Pa-Auk Buddha is set enlightened one. We are not set enlightened one. We are meditator enlightened only after following the Buddha. So because of this reason, so you all now know the difference between enlightenment of Pa-Auk Buddha and the omniscient Buddha, and the ability of omniscient Buddha and Pa-Auk Buddha. Okay, we will go back to the Jataka story. So the Pa-Auk Buddha thought, where am I to get clay to make this mountain cake neat and trim? He knew that he could get it in Bangalore. So putting on his robes and with bowl in hand, he went into the city and took his stand not far from that woman. As it happened, she was angry, and when she looked at the Pa-Auk Buddha, she thought, in his wicked heart, he is begging for clay as well as alms. Because for this person, especially they go for alms food. Now that woman is just kneading and plastering a wall with clay. So the Pa-Auk Buddha stood near that woman, that woman becomes angry, and the thought appeared, with his wicked heart he is begging for clay as well as alms food. Pa-Auk Buddha stood without moving. Finally, when she saw that Pa-Auk Buddha remained motionless, she had a change of heart, and looking at him once more, she said, "Monk, you have not get any clay?" After that, she took a big lamp of clay and put it in its bowl. With this clay, the Pa-Auk Buddha was able to make things neat in the mountain cave. So, in her subsequent life, as a result of having given the Pa-Auk Buddha that lamp of clay, her body was soft to the touch. However, because of her angry look, her hands, feet, mouth, eyes and nose were extremely ugly. In that life, she was known by the name of Pancha-papa, the 5 defects. Is a woman beautiful when she is angry? You know. As we all know, when a woman is angry, she looks ugly, and when that karma ripens, she will be ugly. If we wish for beauty and other good rewards, we must avoid anger and be clever and skillful with our thoughts, words and deeds. So the karmas we bring into being give rise to different results. Some actions have serious results, while the outcome of others is small and insignificant. If we happen to hurt, harm or destroy small beings in general, the results of that action will be relatively minor. But on the other hand, if we hurt, harm or destroy large beings, the results will be the opposite, other extreme. Do you understand why? Because if we destroy small creatures, we don't need to put too much effort. But if we kill or if we destroy big creatures, big animals, you need to put too much effort. Generally, they will give the results opposite. In the same way, if we harm or destroy or insult a man of virtue, the results will be different than if we harm or destroy or insult a man of no virtue. When we are with the virtuous, we need to be mindful and attentive at all times and be especially on guard against doing anything unwholesome. A person like a Pa-Auk Buddha is a supreme one. Even if the action directed towards him is fairly weak or minor, the karmic results turn out to be heavy. There is a fertile land. If we grow a sweet fruit tree in a fertile land, it will bear fruits that are sweet and delicious. If we sow a bitter seed in the same fertile field, the taste of the fruit will be bitter. The field, land is the same land, fertile field, but the seed we grow become different, that the results become different too. We must always be adept when performing bodily verbal action. It is through bodily and verbal actions that we construct the conditions that influence and mold our life. So we will go back to the sutta, giving what? So the Deva's third question, it is giving what does one give each? The Buddha answers, giving a vehicle, one gave each, a gift of well-being. So what is vehicle here means? It is explained in the commentary that the vehicle means anything which can make travel possible, convenient or comfortable. This could be a horse or an elephant, etc. Because ancient times they use horse and elephant as their vehicle. However, bhikkhus are not permitted to accept vehicles such as horses and elephants. It is not suitable to offer such things to bhikkhus. On the other hand, umbrellas, slippers, walking sticks, accessories, in travel and other types of vehicles, not driven by men or animals, are examples of the vehicles that are allowable for bhikkhus. So vehicles not driven by men, you understand? Now the car was driven by men, but not such vehicle. Now, men drive car, so we can see it's driven by men, but not in this way. In poor country, tricycle driven by men, or bullock cart, horses, bullock cart. Oh, you don't know. Okay? So it is not allowable. So slippers also vehicle. Walking sticks also it is called vehicles too. umbrella, also okay. Okay, so you don't need to think about to offer a car. Huh? Oh, it is so expensive, I cannot offer. No matter, slipper also okay. So they can be offered to bhikkhu. Giving this is also called giving vehicle. So in the same way, a person is offering a vehicle, anything which can make travel possible, convenient or comfortable. If someone repairs roads, builds stairs and bridges, arranges car, bus, boat, ship or air tickets for travel, it is called offering vehicle. From Seoul to Boinsa Center, how many hours drive do we need to drive? 40 minutes. If I walk, how many hours I need to? Okay, maybe 1 day, 2 days, maybe. Okay, because of this reason, Buddha said, giving the vehicle one gave ease. Okay, the fourth question, it is, giving what does one give sight? The Buddha answered, giving a land, one gives sight. So even those with good eyes can't see things in the dark. However, when given a lamp to light up the dark, one can see things as they are. So the Buddha said that by giving a lamp, one gives sight to those who need sight. Therefore, by giving candle, torchlights, electric lights, and other lights which make things visible, for those who need light, one is giving sight. Many young Korean, they use eyeglass. Their eyesight is not very good, I think. Okay, so you all need to give lamp or touch light, electric light to make your eyesight good. Okay, this is the fourth answer to the fourth question. Let me stop here. Tomorrow I will make finish. Any questions? No question. Okay, today we will stop here.